Hello everyone, how's it going? This is Stick MC, and this video is much more timely. I actually just uploaded my summary video with Billy. That took entirely too long. I'm sorry. I'll try to be a little better on that. But I am on time with Doctor. I did indeed play 100 games with Doctor without perks and no add-ons. This is footage of the first game. We'll bounce around here as we do that. But let's go to the bottom line up front. Let's see how I did. So with Doctor, 100 games, no perks, and no add-ons, I had a 65% kill rate and a 55% win rate. That's a 10% difference, but it's not like universal. I still have never had a winning kill rate and a losing win rate. That's never been a thing. So I had a 32% loss rate. I went 55, 32, and 13. And so that is the overall performance. So this means my MMR is incredibly good with Doctor. This means I don't win a whole lot with Doctor. I don't lose that much, but that's where the data went. But we're going to come over here and track some new things. Every time I do one of these, I always try to add data. So I'll talk about the basic data first. Let's go over here, actually. So what I tracked this time is I tracked the number of 4Ks, 3Ks, 2Ks, 1Ks, just so that the summary was easier. And I tracked how many games gens were done versus what. So this is interesting because I had 33 4Ks of my 55 wins. Hold on, something's weird. 33. Yeah, I double counted a 2K. I'm sorry. I know I did. It's 22. Because that's 55 is what that is. And then I know I had 13 2Ks, and I miscounted that. Sorry about that. So I had 33 4Ks, 22 3Ks, 13 ties. I had 15 games where I only killed one, and 17 games where I killed 0. That number should line up. Game 100. Double check that data. 32. 32. Should be 32. And if I miscounted there, this was a new thing that I thought of while I was doing it. 32, right? So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, there it is. That was indeed the data. So interesting that I had 55 games where all the gens were done, but I still had 33 4Ks. Some of those, and I annotated here in the data, and one of these days I'm going to find out how to actually share this data in a manner that people can look at and review that doesn't like force you guys to have access to files that I don't want you to have access to. For now, this will work for what it is, and if you really, really don't want to discuss, really don't want to believe me, you can literally go back and watch. They're in a playlist, all of themselves. And if you want to dispute any of that information, you can just go and review it. That's the value of science. Whenever you're doing something analytically or scientifically, you want people to be able to go back and look at the data and measure it and add it and do those things so that they can challenge your data. If you're saying just watch my stream, it's in here, sure, someone can do that, but that's not a scientific way to do it. They can't go back to that game. They can't go back to those stats and measure it. Well, you can with this data. So I had 33 4Ks and 22 3Ks, 17 0Ks. Now, I'd have to go back and watch all the data or go back and count. I just don't want to do it with my other killers. But I'll start doing that with Myers. And I'm also going to start tracking how long it takes me to get kills. How long it takes me to get the first kill, how long it takes me to get the second kill, and honestly start tracking that data as well, because data is good and you can't have too much of it. I only had 2 games where I only had 2 4K 5 gens. And then I had 3 games where only 1 gen was done. Most of the time, they got the gen done. They got all 5 gens done as many times as I have wins. And that was interesting. Now, there were some altruism games in here, and I labeled them there below, so I will note that. But I don't control the way people play. So what I want people to notice when they're watching games like this is until Dead by Daylight does something about camping and tunneling, you can take measures. See, they're in this very game, they're trying to prevent tunneling. What they're doing is giving me the win. That's what they're doing. I admire their effort. I admire their kindness. I admire all the things that they're trying to do. I really do. But if you have a killer who is camping and tunneling, the way you punish that is by doing gens. So by all means, you have one guy in a gen, send another guy to go look. And if the guy like comes up and realizes, hey, this guy's not on this guy's not here, get the unhook. And if he's standing there or if he's patrolling around the area, then do a generator. Maybe even do a generator near it to see if you can force the killer away to try to defend the generator. But ultimately, if you are bringing in a swarm of survivors, more often than not, you're just helping me win. And I want you to kind of take that into account. Because I won games that I should have lost with Doctor. I tied games that I should have lost with Doctor. And altruism is the reason why. Now, I know that they're doing this new mechanic. I applaud behavior for the new mechanic idea, where if I'm this close to a hook or something like that, I just don't think it'll be really effective. Because more often than not, I tunnel instead of camp. I do camp. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment, but more often than not, I hook, and I'm at least going to go check on the nearest generators and kind of hover around and patrol around there. So I think that Dead by Daylight doing anything is good. I just don't know that what they're doing is going to move the needle the way they want to move it, depending upon how far they want to move that particular needle. Why do I camp and tunnel? Well, I'll say this with every video. I'm trying the assertion that led me to this challenge where I want to play every killer with no perks and no add-ons. The assertion was you can't win. So I'm like, I'd like to test that theory. Here I am testing that theory. Lo and behold, I played 100 games with Trapper, no perks and no add-ons, 157. 100 games with Rape with no perks and no add-ons, 156. 100 games with Billy, no perks and no add-ons, 160. 100 games with Doctor, no perks and no add-ons, 155. Doctor's thus far my worst killer. And what I'm proving is as long as you are a killer and you have those nuclear options and you are willing to take them, you can win. You can win as long as you're not, invested in how much fun anyone else has. But if you're, if you believe that Dead by Daylight is a competitive game, then you're not invested in the fun of other people. And if you think Dead by Daylight is a party game, then you're not invested in winning. You can win and make it a competition game if that is what you want to do. And you can have fun and make it a party game if that is what you want to do. But if what you want is to have your cake and eat it too, that's just not a thing people do on Earth. If you want to win and have fun, sometimes that happens, but there's no guarantee for that. You, as a killer, have the ability to guarantee a win. Or at least guarantee that you win more often than you lose. And that's kind of what this series has shown thus far. Obviously, I still have like 26 killers to go or some random number like that. But even if every other killer I never win again, I know that I can win with the 4 that I've already played with. And that is evidence. So we're watching this game, and I want to talk about something unique to Doctor. I might switch on and off and go on to a different topic. But what I will say, and hopefully an example will show up as I'm doing it, maybe even here. The thing I learned with Doctor, watch right there. What you saw right there in that moment is the best thing Doctor does, and I'll play it again. The best thing Doctor does is when he does his static blast, he makes it so you shouldn't be able to vault and you shouldn't be able to throw pallets. And that's true if you know how to use the Doctor. I am still, after 100 games, I'm still trying to figure it out, because if you get the timing wrong, yeah, he'll send out the shock, he'll do the slowdown, but it's got to be done soon enough to stop the motion or the action that you're trying to stop. So it's not going to help you if when you're playing the game, You don't understand that range. So what you should practice first, if you're going to try Doctor out, is play against some bots and get the timing down so that when you do your shock, it actually prevents the survivor from getting to the vault or getting to the pallet. The other thing that Doctor does is when you're looping with the Doctor, you're going to have survivors who understand the range of his shock and the direction, because if he doesn't bullseye you, then you don't get the benefit. So that's a trick to Doctor that I don't think I ever mastered. And if I had mastered that, I would have been far more successful. And that goes to the next assertion. Well, you know, you did this challenge, but you're not a good killer. You're not playing good survivors. One, even if I agree with you, I have no control over who I play. So if you want to affirm, no, I play way better guys, and if I played these guys, I wouldn't win. Prove it. Play 100 games. Otherwise, be quiet. You are arguing with opinion. I am proving with reviewable, verifiable data. And until you do that, and again, don't give me this nonsense of, well, you can go to my stream and XYZ. No. I have this playlist where I did this. I didn't do it for a day. I didn't do it for an hour. I didn't do it randomly. I did it committed, dedicated study. And that's the difference between opinion and data. That's the difference between science and, conversation. So one, if you think you could not do it at your level, prove it. Or understand something else. I played with Doctor, and my kill rate was 60%. I played with Hillbilly, and my kill rate was 75%. I played with Wraith, and my kill rate was... No, it wasn't 75% with Billy. I was looking at the wrong thing. My kill rate was 65%. This is for the split. This is for the area. With Wraith, my kill rate was 61%. With Trapper, my kill rate was 63%. My kill rate with these killers is on par, for the most part, with top MMR plays. So you can claim what you want, but the MMR moves, that's shape. I haven't even started that yet. MMR moves based on your kill rate, and my kill rates are comparable or better than top MMR kill rates. So you can throw your opinion at me all you want, but my data disagrees with you. So how did the games go more specifically? I tracked this. What I added to this series were the gen counts. What I'm going to do with Myers is I'm actually going to track, hold on. What did I do with it? Those are the totals. But what I'm going to start tracking is, how long did it take to get the first kill, second kill, third kill, fourth kill? How long did it take to kill all the survivors? How long did it take per kill? I'm also tracking hooks per gen. So I got to get that in this area here. Maybe I did it. Average time per kill. There you go. Average time for all kills. So I did put that in there. But for now, I tracked the gens, and that's the data that I saw there. So I don't know what you glean from this. 33% of the time I killed 4 people. 22% of the time I killed 3 people. 55% of the time all the gens got done. So you can argue altruism is helping me, and it is, but altruism probably helps you too. So what do you want? I had 645 hooks, so probably somewhere in that, well, let's just do math. 1,200 hooks divided by 645 divided by 1,200, because you get 12 hooks a game. So 54% of the possible hooks I could have gotten, I got. So the claim of, well, you're not hooking a lot. I'm hooking 54% of the time. 240 kills, that's where that data comes from. So whatever way you break it down, kills per game 2.4, 2.4 divided by 4 is the same 60% that you get when you take 240 and divide it by 400. It's 60%, however you want to do the math. 160 survivors escaped. I had about 6.45 hooks per game, which is a little lower. If I come over here to the other challenges that I finished. 7 hooks per game with Billy, but he was my top performer thus far. All right, let's go to Trapper. I skipped Wraith. I'll come back. 7 with Trapper. Wraith. So yeah, Doctor's hook per game way lower than I am used to. And I felt it. I really felt like I never had Doctor figured out. I really felt like Doctor was really giving me a lot of fits. And so when I move closer to as I progress, figuring Doctor out was way harder. So again, if you're gonna test Doctor out, the mistake I made is I played maybe 10 games with Doctor before I did this challenge. Well, obviously I did 10 warm-ups, but I might have played another 10 games before that, before I even started this challenge. But I would use his add-ons where I extend the range or the duration. And what I did not realize is his base kit shock is alarmingly different than when you put those add-ons and do things of that sort. So what I ended up learning very, very quickly was, see there where I got the shot, but I don't get the benefit. Doctor is a much more challenging player to master than I had expected. See right there, I thought, okay, I'll shock him here. But that shock doesn't give you the bang for the buck unless you master the timing. So I really think that that's just something you should do. And look, I'm a console player. 360s are way more powerful against console guys. I moved my sensitivity up. I made some improvements in that vein, but it really, really is a greater challenge to get hits on console. I'm not saying it's there are people who play console who are better than me. I freely acknowledge that. But I'm talking to people who are trying to learn a master killer. And see that little move I did there where I spun around? That is the ideal. And when your sensitivity is up, that works. But it's still, there are still measures people can take, especially when you're a console guy trying to take on a mouse user on computer. That is a very, very different world to live in. So for those of you wanting to play Doctor and learn Doctor and master him, increase your sensitivity, master the timing of the shock. Right here, I hit the shock, he threw it down. I should not have wasted the time to do that shock. Yeah, I got the down, but if that person just kept running, she actually would have gotten away. And then things got a lot better when I got someone down into the basement with my ability and in my 3-gen. So there were fewer gens left per game, obviously, because the generators flew a lot more readily. So it took me about 38 seconds. Here's an assertion that I want to make. The King, he said it offhand. He didn't do like a whole video, but the King did this video. And in this video, he just kind of said offhand that the developers want 40-second chases. I define a chase as the time from when I saw the survivor to when I got the survivor in the hook. So as you're watching this, the moment I saw Nancy, I started the timer. And the moment I got Nancy on the ground, the moment I got Nancy, well, in this case, I was tunneling. So again, the anti-camping thing is see, that was a very, very short chase. Why I'm mentioning that is the King said the chases should be 40 seconds. I measure a chase from when I first see them to when I get them on a hook. That's the duration of the chase by my definition. I don't know Dead by Daylight offhand, and if you do, let me know. But if I can keep this number under 40, I expect to win more than I lose. And I've kept that number below 40 and I win more than I lose. So the theory I have based my opinion on has been proving. I don't know that it can be. Well, first off, I can't prove anything in and of myself. I am one of, tens of thousands of players. So in and of myself, I prove nothing. And I acknowledge that. But every time I commit to keeping my chases. The other thing that I want to pass on to you, though, is if you're in a chase and you're 20 seconds in, let's see here. If you're in a chase and you realize that you're 20 seconds in and you don't even have a hit, you're not going to get them. You're not. So what you should do and what you need to do is just leave that chase. I probably should not have tunneled that out because I gave Nancy time to get to this more powerful loop. This was my second game. I wasn't anywhere near mastering what the doctor does and how the doctor works. But when you realize this chase is going long, what you should do is you should just get out. Just get away from the chase. Let the survivor win that chase, quote unquote, win the chase. Because if you spend 40 seconds or more on a survivor, you are not going to win. So I try to make sure that I put myself in position to make sure that I get the hook within 40 seconds. And that does a lot for me. And when the survivors can keep me looking, can keep me hunting people, and can force my chases to last more than 40 seconds, whatever they do, maybe they force me to slug, maybe they body block, anything you do as a survivor that extends the duration of the chase is good, as long as that chase extends 40 seconds. If you're body blocking and doing other things, but I'm getting people down on the hook like right away. See right there, I realized I didn't have anywhere I could go. So I just slugged that guy out. So this survivor is costing me dearly. Maybe I slug him, maybe I get the win here. I don't remember off the top of my head. But that survivor is eating up time. And I'm going nuts at this point. Did I win this game? This is game number 2. I did not. I had 1 kill in that game. And this is an example where I couldn't get the hook. So all of that was just wasted time. You want, as a killer, you want chases to be I found them, I hooked them to be less than 40 seconds. And as a survivor, whatever you can do to make that chase last more than 40 seconds or get the killer to come away from you, you're doing your team favors. And that's something I think Doctor taught me and these stats taught me that I would not have known if I did not start tracking this data. So anytime I'm working with the doctor or any killer, I'm going to be very, very motivated. Doing Myers next, I'm going to learn a lot. I don't know if I get 51 or more wins with Myers because he needs so much setup. And even when he gets the down in his power, you got to kind of maximize his power and try to get other downs. I don't know. On one hand, people will be like, see, that's proof Myers needs love. Should anyone ever win with no perks and no add-ons? Like ever? Just like, I'm asking. If you really disagree, put it in the comments below. I'm not hating. Do you honestly think that a killer should be able to put himself at a disadvantage and win at all, let alone put himself at a disadvantage and win more than he loses? Like, answer that question, whether you're a killer main or a survivor main. Maybe put it in there in the comments. Survivor main, no. Killer main, absolutely. I don't know. But I don't personally think I should be on my 4th killer and still winning more than I lose while pointedly not doing anything at all to help other than what I can do with the killer in the game. And if you think the killer in the game with no benefits should win, I disagree. I don't think so. I think that you should bring perks. Why do I think this? If I'm in a game like this, and I had the pressure. There were plays on the field that I could have had. If I bring one perk, if I bring Jolt or Scourge Hook or Corrupt Intervention, I'm that much more powerful. I don't think that a perk should amplify and guarantee how many 4Ks I get. I think that perks should be what I use in order to win, not in order to win better. That is my opinion. That is my assertion. If you can disagree, you can let me know in the comments down below. But I think that anyone who says I should win all my games without having any tools is like saying the 49ers should win all of their games even without a quarterback. You should not expect to win without options, without power. And you're welcome to disagree, but that is my opinion. I am curious to know what your opinion is and why, though. So here, we got about 3 gens, almost 4 gens done every game. Almost 4 done here. So that's not a huge deviation. But it felt, that's why I started tracking this, because it really felt like gens were getting done, which leads us to this. I had 200, it took 256.74 seconds per gen per game. So that's not 4 minutes per gen. That's you divide that by 60, and then you divide that by the number of gens that were done per game, 3.79. To learn, it took about 100. It took about a minute and 12 seconds, a minute and 13 seconds per gen with Doctor, which is kind of on par for the course. For 5 gens, for all 5 gens to get done, it took 502.82 seconds divided by 60, divided by 5. Wait, hold on, I got to do that math again. 502.82 divided by 60 divided by 5. It took, interestingly, with this one's a little different. It took about a minute and 67 seconds to get the gens done when all of the gens got done. Now, the Doctor has a couple things that can make 3 gens really troublesome. But that wasn't how every game went. I'll come down over here. See if this is a good. Look at this. So I didn't, all the gens weren't done. Let's go down here to when things got a little rough. Here we go. So I had games where all the gens were done in 357 seconds. No, all the gens were done in 717 seconds. So a game like this, I probably should have won this game. There's probably a mistake I made, because that's a long, long time. 717 divided by 60. It took 11 minutes for that game to end, for those gens to get done. But then if you look at other games, all the gens were done in 371 seconds. 6 minutes. 6 minutes for all the gens to get done. I think there's one in the 200 seconds somewhere. I'm trying to find. Let me see. I'll see if I can find it. I'm not gonna dilly-dally on it as a whole. But there, 298. 298 divided by 60. Less than 5 minutes to get all the gens done. So yeah, there were games where the gens just flew, and then there were games where I could slow the game down. The reason killers bring slowdown perks is because if I can make the game last 500 seconds or longer, so 8 minutes or longer, I feel like I have the advantage. And if I have a game where I can't slow the game down, then I'm probably going to get frog stomped. I'm going to hope maybe altruism helps me out. I'm going to hope the survivors do me some solids. But this game is all about gen speed. As a killer, what you need to know then is whatever you can do to slow that process, corruptive intervention, pop, pain resonance. Believe it or not, I believe in Colubrine, way more than other people do. I'm going to learn because I intend to use Call of Brine. The ability of knowing if someone is touching a gen, at the very least, it tells you someone's hovering around that gen. So you know there's someone there, as opposed to kicking a gen and going away and you never know if anyone ever touches it. The benefit of the progress lost is a bonus. The power of that perk is knowing that someone's not touching it or knowing someone is right off the bat. And that is, that's the value and the beauty of that particular perk. Obviously I didn't use it, but what I'm trying to explain is if you can get this number, the time it takes for all the gens to get done, or the time it takes for a gen to get done, you're gonna win. And that's why the best perks you can bring are either perks that extend the chase or perks that reduce gen time. The best builds are going to be focused on one or the other. Like make it take longer to get that hook, or make it take less time to get the hook. Whereas with killer, make it take less time to get the hook, make it take more time to do the gen. Whatever your build is, one of those should be your goal. I recommend you focus on one of them, and kind of go from there. I have 2 builds that I'm running right now as Survivor. I have one build that's designed to keep me alive, and I have one build that's designed to help me get gens done quickly. I only escape about 43% of the time, but that's on par with average. But when I play killer, whatever I can do to make that work for me is going to help. So that's how things went with Doctor. Those are some tips that I wanted to share. I hope this helps you. I hope it helps you mastering Doctor. I hope it helps you mastering Killer at all. I guess the closing I want is something I'm always going to touch on. I said it here in this video. You can have fun in this game. But if your objective when you log into this game is to have fun, then you should not expect to win. Because having fun would be these chases, bringing builds that like are a little comical, doing tricks, like doing 360s as you're trying to hit. You're having fun, but you're not trying to win. You're trying to have fun. And I welcome you to do that. You can win. You can 3-gen, you can camp, you can tunnel, you can bring all the sweatiest perks, all the sweatiest things, and you will. You might have fun because winning in and of itself is actually fun. Winning is fun, and you can make it so that you win, and you can make it miserable for the survivors. I think I did so in this game. And sure, you can do that. And you're not obligated. Like if you're the survivor, you're not there to help the killer have fun. He's trying to kill you. There's nothing fun about dying. You can camp and tunnel your way out. No survivors have misery. Wins come at the expense of your opponent, and losing impacts your fun. If your assertion is you should win and have fun, you have an unrealistic expectation, in my opinion. It can be you can't have the most fun and win, but if you are a survivor, you have the most fun and you win, it means you chased the guy for 5 gens and got out. That killer had a miserable time. And so everyone did not have fun. What's ultimately impossible is for everyone to have fun. Now, everyone can have some fun, and maybe they win and maybe they lose. Everyone can have a lot of fun, and the killer's going to lose because 4 people can't die and claim it was a fun game. It's just not a thing. So those are all choices you make when you turn the game on. But to be able to expect to do it all is just not a feasible thing. If you just think about it for a couple seconds, you can't sit there and say like, no, I'm going to get this kill. I'm going to get this win. You can't win knowing the survivors are going to have a miserable life of it. And expect them to be like, hey, GG, I had a lot of fun. That's just not a thing. That's one of the reasons why the game can be a little toxic. The game can be a lot toxic. But ultimately, you get to pick. Just don't pretend that you should be able to do both, because you can't. The 49ers don't walk on the field and shake hands with the Rams and be like, I sure hope we have fun. No, they're like, I'm a frog stomp you. I'm going to push you all around. I'm going to run the ball down your throat because they want to win. Obviously, they're paid to win. The fans paid to see them win. And so this is taking it to an extreme. But I'm asking you to consider, if you think this is a party game, then winning should not matter to you. And that is fine. God bless you for it. And if you think this is a competitive game, then having fun should not matter to you. And God bless you. You have a right to play this game. But you just can't expect to win and have fun. You might argue, well, I have a lot of fun. Okay, if you have a lot of fun and you win, poll the people you're playing. Send them a message, send them a chat, ask them like, hey, I just beat you. Did you have fun also? And see how that goes. Because you cannot win and have a game where everyone had fun. You can have fun and you can win, but you can't do both. So what I would ask you to do is, every time you log on, every time you go in, maybe in the game, you're loading in and be like, hey guys, I'm not really trying to win. I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to do some stuff. I don't care if I get out or not. I think this will be fun. And it will. It absolutely will. When I bring in Head On and Quick and Quiet and a flashlight, I laugh, flashbang. I laugh and laugh every single time. I don't think I've ever escaped a game where I did that though. I didn't care. I went into the game saying, this is what I'm trying to do. You should make that same decision. So my next killer is going to be the shape. These are the metrics I'm going to track. It gets bigger and bigger every single time because I'm trying to generate data. I mentioned this in my last video. Dead by Daylight says that they're going to release player cards. I used to collect. I haven't bought football cards in a long time. Wouldn't it be great if your player card had your stats, average chase time, average number of escapes, average kill time, average number of kills, average number of hooks? Wouldn't that be awesome? I think I'm going to do a whole video on that at some point in time, probably during my vacation, so that I can put up content without like completely vanishing. I think that would be great. And so this is just me showing, hey, this is data that I track, and this is data that I like. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope this has been illuminating. I hope it's helpful. And we'll see. You can watch me on Twitch and see how I handle Myers. I am concerned. I wonder how that will go. So you can watch, you can cheer me on, you can cheer against me. You can be like, I hope you miss. I mean, you have a right to do that. Just like anyone who goes to a competition and watches, you can cheer for or against whatever team or player you want. I encourage you to do so. I'm usually on around 8:30-ish, might be as late as 9:30, and I end around 10:30-ish, might be on as late as 11:30, but those are the ballparks to look. During the weekends, I don't play killer. I only play with my family, but that's kind of where I'm at. So we'll see how this keeps going, but that's where we're at for now. So 4 killers in, and I have proven 4 times in a row you can absolutely win with any killer, or at least these killers so far, and you can absolutely do it without perks and add-ons. Any caveat you want to throw at me is a caveat. It does not change the bottom line. And if you want to prove otherwise, feel free to take this challenge on yourself. Please let me know. I would want to follow that. I would want to watch it. I would love to see Outstarva do this challenge. I would love to see True Talent do this challenge. That would be very fascinating to see how they handle it and how they go about it, and whether they have similar results. That would be awesome. So whatever happens, have a great time. We'll see you around. I should be streaming tonight. So hopefully I'll see you then. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.